Okay, welcome. I'm going to do a quick video here. This is for Avadon the Black Fortress by Spiderweb Software. This is a kind of a standard old school RPG type game, and the reason I'm doing this is just recently some of you, especially Steam users, probably have seen the new release on there of the Forge saga, which that's kind of a 5-part series. Spiderweb Software, they've been doing these RPGs for a little while now, and they've had a couple different series. They've had the Forge series, which has been 5 parts. They've had I think it's another one called Avadon, which has been several parts, which I think they just ended that series. Forge was kind of maybe one of their first ones, and then they did Avadon, which they kind of finished, and then now Avadon is their latest one. This game just came out this year in 2011, and it's their latest series that they intend to do multiple parts to. I do have Forge. I've played through the first one quite a bit and enjoy it. It's a cool story. I mean, I actually enjoy the Forge story and plan to try to get through that series. But I didn't know how interesting that would be for some people to see. Avadon's a little more updated graphics-wise and all that. And they're all available on Steam. Avadon is available on Steam as well. So I figured I would kind of start a game off of this, kind of do a little bit of a let's play and start it off here and play for a while. If it seems to get any interest at all, anyone likes it, maybe I'll continue it. But we'll just we'll play it by ear. Kind of start off with one or two episodes of it, see how it goes, and if there's not much interest and it dies off, we'll just kind of leave it go. So we'll just go with that. Alright, at the beginning here, you get a choice of a couple different characters. You can do a Blade Master, which is kind of your standard warrior. You have a Shadow Walker, is kind of your somewhat of your thief, rogue type class. Shaman, kind of your caster healer, and then a sorceress, your typical nuker. The way the game works, I've played a little ways through it, but not a long ways. But part of the way that it works is you kind of have your one main character, and then as you go into areas and adventure, you'll take other characters with you to kind of fill your party out, whether it's 2 or 3 or whatever. So kind of usually what you want to do is you kind of pick one, and then you just always pick the other characters that kind of complement it. I think what we'll probably do right now is we'll probably go with the Blade Master as our main guy. I kind of like to be in control of the tanking and taking control of the the creatures. Then we'll always try to take maybe like a shaman or a sorceress along with us. Is kind of what we'll maybe shoot for. Let's go for tech tank. Sounds good. Alright, difficulty, let's see, casual, people that are new, just want to enjoy the storyline. Game starts out easy, becomes a challenge as you get close to the end, a nice moderate difficulty level, and harder, and then torment, the ultimate challenge. You will need every trick and fully utilize every ability to defeat nasty enemies arrayed against you. Yeah, let's just stick with normal. Alright, you are a warrior of the Midlands Pact. The Pact is an alliance of 5 nations banded together for safety. The Farlands, enemies of the Pact... Did I read that right? The Farlands, enemies of the Pact, surround you on all sides. These are nations of barbarians, raiders, titans, fated, jealous empires, all waiting for a sign of weakness. The Pact has one purpose, to crush the Farlands and keep them weak and divided. Otherwise, they will invade your homeland, take what they want, and massacre whoever stands in their way. You have spent your life training and preparing to defend the Pact, and you have done well. Your skills and potential have earned you the greatest of honors. You have been sent to serve at a new fortress, Avadon. Avadon the Black Fortress. The warriors of Avadon watch over 5 nations of the Pact. When anyone acts to harm the peace and tranquility of the Pact, Avadon has the authority to destroy them. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. Its authority and independence are almost without limit, and Avadon's power is not only over the outsiders of the Farlands. Anyone who tries to weaken the pack from within is subject to punishment. Brigands, spies, politicians all have reason to fear the Eye of Avadon and the attention of its master, Keeper Redbeard. Alright. And there's Redbeard there. So if you're kind of getting the gist of it, you know, you kind of have a civilized, organized couple of nations, and you're kind of part of the militia, so to speak, that oversees everything, and you have a guy kind of holding power over that. So Avadon has watched over the pack for 3 centuries. Its warriors wield the finest weapons. Its wizards can learn the most powerful spells, and the keeper of the Black Fortress, Redbeard, directs them all. Few outsiders know anything about Redbeard. There are plenty of rumors. Some say he has 3 wives, each a deadly warrior. You've heard that assassins try to kill him every week, but they fail and in turn receive the most gruesome punishments imaginable. Some believe that Redbeard can see into your dreams. That's nice. Outsiders, if they are lucky, never get close enough to Avadon to learn the truth, but you, today, will meet Redbeard yourself. You are standing outside the gates of the Black Fortress. You stand on the bridge over a deep misty chasm. The iron gates of Avadon are before you. Beyond is your new life, full of adventure, danger, power, wealth, and service to the Pact. The Black Fortress looms over you, perched on an enormous granite peak. The gates open a crack, granting you interest. You step through and your service to Avadon begins. Alright, so we're loaded in here. Welcome to Avadon. These messages will pop up to help you learn to play the game. Click somewhere to move your character. One big difference you'll see here, and I can kind of use the arrow keys here to move around and look. A big difference between like this game and say the Geneforge series is obviously this is kind of full screen rendered. Geneforge, they had the action in kind of a small window, so that's one big difference. Alright, so let's move here. Alright, you start to cross Avadon's entry garden. Considering how terrified most of Linnaeus is of its fortress, it seems rather pleasant. Ponds, nicely tended lawn. To the east is another pair of gates leading farther into the fortress. A pair of guards wearing plate armor and wielding massive swords stand to either side. There is also an elderly man in long flowing robes. He has a pair of what looks like wolves in front of him. He is shouting commands at them. They don't seem concerned. Keep on crossing the courtyard to the east. Ote. Now, one thing here too with Spiderweb RPG games is a lot of times on all these dialogues, you have a record button down here. Basically what that is if there's something in that dialogue that you kind of want to make a note of and remember because maybe it's important, you want to read it later, you can hit the record button and it kind of puts it in a log for you. So, it's useful. So let's keep moving across here. Alright, Craftsman Nicodemus. You get closer to the old man and his 2 wolves, though from this distance you can see that something is not right about these animals, like their lack of hair, their purple flesh, and the veins throbbing all along their backs and legs. Nice. The man in the robes is holding a scrap of meat and giving suggestions like stand, sit, roll over. The wolf creatures don't respond. Then you get close, which gets an instant reaction out of them. They turn and look at you. Then they bare their teeth and begin to snarl. Select one of the reactions below. Okay, so obviously every time I say in brackets, that's just kind of in-game knowledge. So 1, watch them quietly. 2, back away. Or 3, could you control those things? Let's stick with 1 for a second. The twisted wolf things are no longer distracted by the pitiful scraps of meat the old man dangles before them. You seem much softer and fresher. However, the old man and the guards don't seem to react to this. They just watch silently and with interest. Okay, 1, what are they doing? Help me. Nah, that sounds wimpy. 2, is this meant to be some sort of test? 3, call back your pets, old man, before I have to destroy them. That sounds like a good answer. The old man shakes his head sadly. That is all right. I think it is necessary. You are a hand. You are supposed to aid in my work. This is your job. I will explain more when you are done. The creatures lurch clumsily towards you. 1 to your right, 1 to your left. Then they start to run, teeth bared. Prepare to defend yourself. Let's see. It says you have little equipment, but we're not foolish enough to travel through the wilderness without a weapon. You prepare to rid the garden of the old man's pets. When the wolves attack, you will enter combat mode. You will then learn how to defend yourself. Okay. Alright. So down here it says now, you are now in combat. In battle, all of the characters take turns acting. During your turn, you can move, attack, cast spells, use items, and so on. Press the spacebar to end your turn early. To attack the wolf, click on it. Defeat these enemies. Later you will learn about spells and other abilities. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and click on this one. Nice. 13 damage. Yeah. How you like that gore? That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. The hideous wolf creatures lie at your feet dead. The guards, realizing that they have a mess to clean up, look annoyed. The old man just looks sad. Another month of work gone. I suppose I must work on my other trinkets for a while. I am sorry. I am Craftmaster Nicodemus, one of the mages of Avadon. I think I will be helping you in the future. Let's see. You will be helping me. You called me a hand. How dare you send your creatures to attack me? I was glad to help. Who do I report to? Let's find out about the hand thing. Oh yes, Redbeard has 8 hands, eyes, and hearts. I'm an eye. And oh, I am sure this will be explained inside. Alright, so you're kind of seeing the idea there. You're the hand, so you're going to go out and do stuff, basically. Let's see, one you will be helping me. How dare you send the creatures? Who do I report to? Let's see, you'll be helping me. Oh yes, you are one of Redbeard's new hands, yes. When you were given tasks, I will be giving you the benefit of my magic. Some of it even works better than these constructions. He waves at the wolves. So you're kind of going to be James Bond and he's going to be Q. Is that what we're angling towards there? I'm not going to do the insult part. Glad to help. Nicodemus nods. That's the spirit, but do not report to me. I was only trying to train the creatures here to get away from the chaos inside. I suppose you should see Heart Miranda. I think she is waiting for you and will explain what you need to know. Where's Heart Miranda? He makes a signal. The gates begin to slowly open. Miranda is inside directing things. There has been a serious disturbance and she'll be happy for your help. Now please excuse me. Then he turns to his wolves, going down on one knee to examine them. Go east of the gate to find Heart Miranda. Her position is now marked on the map window. Okay. Alright, so you can kind of see up here on the mini-map up to the top right, you can kind of see the stars. That's basically where your next objective is. So, oh, you got to get out of combat mode. That's another thing about Spiderweb Software games, if you haven't played them before, is almost every single one of their games, at least I know Gene Forge and this game is the same way. When you get into combat, you go into combat mode, this button in the middle, and when you're done, you have to actually click it to get out of combat mode so you can actually then click and move around like normal. So, alright. You step into the entry courtyard of Avadon. Fresh supplies are stacked everywhere, waiting to be distributed to the warriors and craftspeople. When Avadon wants something, it gets it. However, the atmosphere of the fort is not what you expected. It is chaos. Guards and workers are running everywhere. You hear shouting in the distance, the smell of smoke, and you think blood hangs in the air. After a lifetime of hearing how deadly and invulnerable Avadon is, this chaos is somehow even more worrying. A woman stands in the middle of the courtyard, an island in the chaos, and directs the workers. This must be Miranda you were supposed to present your letter of introduction to. Click to talk to her. Okay. Now, one thing, as I continue this series, and I'll start it here shortly. One thing about the Spiderweb Software games, for whatever reason, is they usually only, you'll notice there's no music. They only put music kind of on their intro screens, and that's pretty much all the music you get. From then on, it's just the sound effects. So I'll probably end up playing some music in the background here. I don't know, I'll surprise with something on the coming up here before long. Alright, so we got tab. You can pull up your map in the middle so you can see what's going on. Alright, so we got people running all over the place. Let's try to talk to somebody. These are just workers. Yeah, let's talk to the lady we're supposed to. Heart Miranda. You walk up to the woman in the middle of the room. Like Craftmaster Nicodemus said, she is wearing long flowing robes, the traditional garb of the mage. She's in her early 50s. She has served here for a long time. She stops shouting orders and turns to you. Well, pity, you didn't show up just a few hours ago. We could have used you. Do you have a letter of introduction? Fortunately, you were given one before you came here. She holds out her hand for it. Let's just give her the letter. She takes the letter, reads it, and nods. Then I formally welcome you, Tech Tank. Excellent. And I declare you a Hand of Avadon, with all privileges and responsibilities attached. Congratulations. She wads up the letter and tosses it on the floor. Hey! A servant instantly collects it and carries it off. Normally there would be a period of settling in, testing, and so on, but we have had some problems. All of our hands are out in the field, and there is something I need you to do now. Let's see, can you tell me about yourself? I am a hand, what does that mean? Let's do the hand part real quick. So much to learn, so little time to teach it. Avadon has hands, eyes, and hearts, and the Keeper. I am a heart, an honored advisor to the Keeper. You are a hand. Your job is to go out and do what needs doing. There will be time to learn more when things are under control. Who is the Keeper? Well, that's probably obviously going to be Redbeard. Surely you've heard of Redbeard, mighty master of Avadon. Do well and you will stand before him. Displease him and she gives you an evil smile. Where can I learn more? I think there is a book on the topic near the quarters assigned to you. You can read it at your leisure later. I have another question. She's still directing workers. Here we go. What do you need me to do? She nods. Yes, enthusiasm. That is what I like to hear. We are trying to get things in the main fortress under control, but we've had to send most of our hands away. That means we need you to enter the dungeons and restore order. Round up some stray prisoners. You do not need to go alone. There are two hands who can help you. They are Sevlin and Nathalie, I believe. She points to the south. On the way down to the dungeons, you can choose one of them to help you. Once you have met the other hands, go downstairs. Sorry about that, my 3-year-old yelling. Once you've met the other hands, go downstairs and speak with Mamora. He will tell you what fires to put out. The stairs down to the dungeon are now marked on the auto map. I don't need to know who they are. They're obviously a couple characters to help. And what do I need to do in the dungeons? That's up to Mamora. Do what he says. You may use any equipment you may find, and if you survive, it will reflect very well upon you. That is vague. I don't want to die without knowing exactly why. Or I will go right away. We'll go with that option. Alright, conversation ends. Excellent. Alright, new quest. Go to the dungeons. The recent disruption has enabled many prisoners in Avadon dungeons to escape. Go south and speak with Sevlin and Nathalie, the hands who can help you regain control. Then go downstairs, find Imamora, and do whatever he tells you to do. Alright, so obviously they got some chaos going on around here, and they don't have enough help to take care of it, so they're letting the new guy do it. So, we will go. Let's see, we need to get down here, it looks like, so we'll kind of go this way. Got a couple stars marked here. Let's see, one is go to the dungeons, go to the dungeons, go to the dungeons. So we'll go down this way. You enter Avadon's main storeroom, where most of the food, wood, and so on are brought to the Black Fortress are kept. There has recently been a fight here. The stone floor is scorched and splatters of blood dot the walls. The wounded and dead have been hauled away. Only one person is visible from here. A young sorceress stands by the scorched area looking down at it. She is smiling. Alright, I think that's the girl that we want to... Because I think the two characters we have, I've played through some of this a little bit. I think it's a warrior, similar, a blade master similar to me or whatever, and then the other one is a caster, Nathalie here, so I think that's who we want. When you get close to the young sorceress, she looks up at you. She's breathing hard, still charged with adrenaline from her recent battle. I did it. I killed them by myself. Not that I will get any notice for it, of course. She takes a moment to calm down. Oh, I am sorry. I am Nathalie. A hand? Is that right? Nathalie. Yeah, close enough. A hand of the Avadon. I spent long enough waiting for action that I need to take a moment to luxuriate in it. I don't know that I've ever actually seen that. Luxuriate? Okay. What happened here? Yeah, let's see what happened here. 3 wretches came out of the dungeon. I was in the main courtyard when I heard them. I surprised and dispatched them, but not before. Did they do any harm? They killed the quartermaster. Not a warrior, but a good man. I spent many hours speaking with him while waiting for something to do. A minute earlier, and I might have saved him. Wretches, vile little humanoids, dumb and hungry, the scourge of the known lands. I don't know why Redbeard would bother to keep them around. Alright, I have another question. I am a hand as well. She nods. You have the look. And a weapon. I hope you have more luck getting sent out than I do. I am going to clean out the dungeons. She looks startled. What? You? No offense, but you've been here, what, 10 minutes? When some of us have been waiting... Once again, she calms down. But you will probably need help. Isn't that the case? Taking one of the other hands with you to share the glory, yes? Yeah. You have been waiting to go to fight. I can take one hand into the dungeons with me.